I opened the door and walked straight inside. In spite of this location being underground, it was filled with a gentle glow. What is this light? Your Majesty, this is the permanent effect of magic creation. It seems to be linked with the orbit of the sun as it does get dimmer at night. What? So ancient magic is still at work here. This alone should be a major discovery. Even though it's being utilized so naturally, I still want to investigate it thoroughly. Then, is there also magic like this present in the middle floor and below as well? Yes, when we sent off Claimant-sama, I secretly had a peek at it. The middle floor was very bright as well. The chief answered my every question. This lasted for a while. The exploration team was ecstatic. This excitement must have been contagious, as we began to feel it too. Gopta-kun, don't you be a troublemaker now. Understood. But I am feeling a bit nervous. We talked amongst ourselves in hushed voices as we began to tour the first floor. It was very lively, showing signs that the dark elves really were living down here. What monsters emerge from underground if you guys were to reside here? The word tomb alone makes me feel that there may be ghosts. Gopta's question prompted the chief to crack a wry smile. No, we wouldn't be concerned about that. There's only one entrance to the underground, and only Claimant-sama was able to open it. Oh, then why not just break it if you can't open it? Leave it to me, I'll slash it open right away. No. We have to investigate carefully, not just wrecking things. I stopped such an aggressive suggestion. You have a point. Let's be careful now, Sean. That was close. I would have cut it down had you not warned me. This made me feel rather uneasy, but it seemed everything would be fine, as long as I explained things well to them. And so, we headed through the cavernous ruins. Passing the residential area of the Dark Elves, a giant gate appeared before us. Its size was about the same as the first gate. Only this time, the door seemed to have been enchanted with some sort of spell. I see. This appears to have been enchanted with an ancient magic defense mechanism. If you accidentally disturb this contraption, the defensive mechanisms within the city may activate. Defensive mechanisms. Are they still functioning? Yes, please be very careful. If we were to trigger it accidentally, we may no longer be able to investigate the ruins. Kugali-san advised everyone with a serious face. The team also seemed rather tense upon hearing her words. I was more curious about how Claimant opened this gate. Is Claimant connected to these ruins in any way? That guy only rose to power recently. He shouldn't have anything to do with such ancient ruins. Perhaps he was able to decode the sorcery and open the door with the correct procedure. That's right, even if it were Claimant, surely, he would have been able to undo the sorcery with enough time. By the way, I recall that Claimant had a unique skill as well. Correct. He possessed unique skill manipulator. He could receive or transmit information in encoded signals. Yeah, that's it. It was some ability about analyzing intelligence. Surely, it would be just as simple to analyze magic spells. By the way, did I obtain this skill as well? Answer. It is an inferior version of Master's skill. Thus, it has been decomposed into energy and absorbed. If anything, the Scully line manipulation has been added to law manipulation. I see, no wonder it didn't report it to me. Because it wasn't worth mentioning. That's why Raphael-san never brought it up. But if Claimant could do it, so could I, even though this would be Raphael-san doing all the actual work. We may be stuck figuring this thing out for a long time. We ran headfirst into a mighty challenging task. But our circumstances are already a lot better than what we've done in the past. Let's calm down and analyze it carefully. The members of the exploration team talked amongst themselves in a display of motivation. Ignoring them all, I put my hand on the gate. I instantly got a picture of the energy coming from the ley lines permeating the wall in the form of magic spells. I get it now. If we were to destroy this door, the lights on this level would all vanish. All of the energy would be used to repel the invaders before reconstructing itself. It's still functioning normally even after more than 1,000 years. Looks like this is a super advanced product born from the magic-wielding civilization. It was all Greek to me, but thanks to the help of the all-talented Raphael-san, I was able to unravel the matter easily. It was like playing a puzzle game, making it somewhat intriguing. Like solving an arithmetic problem. I undid the magic expressions one by one, and finally found the way to open the gate. Ah, there you go. By channeling magic here, we should be able to open the input window of the coded spell. I finished my sentence only to turn around and see the expedition team with their mouths hanging open. Oh snap, I overdid that a bit, I suddenly realized. I accidentally started analyzing due to it being so interesting. This was supposed to be their job. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. It's okay, don't worry about it, Kaguli-san said to comfort me, but I still felt that I owed an apology to everyone. I reflected upon what I'd done while petting Ranga as I patiently waited. That's what I should have done. But my own teammates couldn't contain themselves. Wahaha. I want to solve it as well. I give up. Milim started shouting loudly, prancing before the gate, while Gopta couldn't figure out a thing. That seemed to cheer up the other teammates and they began to discuss. The spark to drive the situation was the question Kaguli-san asked. Rimuru-sama, could I ask you about something? How did you analyze the puzzle? By then I was stroking Renga's fur. But since she'd asked, I couldn't very well withhold an answer. To quench her thirst for clarification, I explained the analysis method in detail. First, we need to investigate what sort of magical expressions were used before it came to be, then we could sort those expressions into different stages. Do you mean to identify the most recently used magical expression? Right, we then probe what should be removed from the end product to prevent that magical expression from activating. Repeat this process for the expression before it, and so on until you grasp the foundation, that is the underlying flow, the nucleus, of this mechanism. Then, after that, it will conversely give you only the right answers. I see. Ruling out false leads and only preserving the expressions that are functioning correctly, is it? No wonder why everyone present here was an elite. They immediately understood the method merely from listening to my short suggestion. Aren't trap-type expressions complete on their own in many cases? They're like branches and leaves of a large tree that grow close together, parts that do not belong to the central roots and the trunk. This is, assuming that the expressions are not primarily intended to trigger the trap. I see. So even if it's the main stem of the expressions, we still shouldn't let our guard down. My teaching style seemed to be easy to understand, maybe because I had experience teaching kids. I was pleased to see that it was pretty well received, so I continued to demonstrate more and more of the puzzle analysis. During this time, Milim opened the gate almost immediately. Later on, a couple of our teammates managed to open the door successfully as well. It was then that the chief called us. Everyone, we have prepared meals. You must be tired after your arduous journey. Shall we call it a day? Having it pointed out, I realized it was already evening. She had a point, we could begin our exploration officially tomorrow. We would open the gate tomorrow and close up shop for now. Shall we stop for the day? I concur. Her saying that we've been on an arduous journey still feels bizarre, nonetheless. We shall begin the investigation officially tomorrow. But Kaguli sensed consent, the day came to a close. The next day. Our team lined up and prepared for marching. Kaguli-san unsealed the gate on our behalf. The blue light flashed repeatedly as the gate silently opened. Looks like it was a success. The folks began to cheer. Good job, I praised everyone as I took a step inside the gate. The middle floor had a different level of luminosity compared to the upper floor. There were candlesticks on the stone walls emitting faint light that couldn't be extinguished. This was some fantastic magic technology. But they were not actual candles, rather, illumination created by magic. While feeling impressed, I walked towards the floor as Milim came to my side. I feel like there's suddenly a really strong sense of oppression here. It's true. Because unlike the upper floor, the ceiling is really low, and the hallway is surrounded by stone walls. The passage is really narrow as well, it almost feels like a labyrinth. The ceiling was only 2 meters tall. A larger man would have to bend his back. The hallway was only 2 meters wide as well. It was a bit narrow for 2 people to stand shoulder to shoulder. Not like that was a problem for me and Milim due to our petite figures. But the teammates behind us carrying large backpacks may have some trouble doing the same. Rimuru-sama, how are things looking ahead? If this floor was truly built like a maze, we may have to ponder which road to choose every time we encountered a split. Moreover, there may be traps. If there were to be any traps, we'd be able to sense them, so is it okay to allow us to continue leading the team? Are you guys truly able to handle it? Just count on me. With my presence, there's nothing to worry about. The person who nodded heavily was Milim, not me. If no one objects, then we should do just that. With us leading the charge, Kaguli-san and her vice-captain followed. Shion and Gopta were walking at the back of the team to protect the other teammates. Ranga was hidden in my shadow, whereas the chief had stayed behind to stand guard. I was looking forward to today's supper. I used magic perception to confirm the status ahead of the road as I casually walked onward. The passages were surrounded by stone walls, which occasionally had murals painted on them. These were some fine drawings. They are so beautiful. These murals on their own are already valuable art pieces. Is that so? Indeed. Looks like they are depictions of the living conditions in ancient times. We may be able to gain some understanding of ancient civilization. This alone makes it priceless. Oh, now that you've put it that way, it does remind me of the sceneries I've seen in the past. Ah yes, this bygone past to me were nostalgic memories for Milim. She must have many feelings passing through here. I should try to keep them in their original conditions and be cautious during our investigation. The traps that I was worried about did not trigger. The exploration went smoothly. It was already noon and we decided to rest for a moment. Now then, let's prepare lunch. Ah, hold up. I asked the chief to prepare bento for us, let's eat that. I stopped the teammates who were about to start a fire and took out bento for everyone. It looked as if they appeared out of thin air, but I'd actually stored them all in my stomach. It even kept them warm. What a great skill for traveling. Well, you can do that. Mutters such as these began to spread around, but I ignored all that. While still feeling confused, the teammates took the bento. This does look very tasty. Milim said happily after opening up the bento. It was lunchtime. Scrumptious sandwiches with fresh vegetables, eggs and bacon, that was today's lunch. Speaking of Dark Elves' cuisine, their unique sauce was incredible. It tasted like mayonnaise and could even turn crumbly bread soft. And for people who still thought the bread was too tough, they could drink the warm vegetable soup from a large wooden bowl. The stock seemed to have been finely drawn from chicken bones, and it had a rich, savory taste. The vegetables had also thoroughly absorbed the fragrant aroma, and drinking it felt delightfully satisfying. No need to hold back, there's more soup for everyone. As I finished, some teammates rushed over with their bowls. Milim came in first though, and looked like she really enjoyed the soup. It's quite rare to have such delicious delicacies in the wilderness. Everyone must be very pleased about it. Kagoli-sen said, but she sounded kind of salty. She was probably implying that I shouldn't get too ahead of myself like this. I totally get her meaning, but please forgive my little trick this time. I actually didn't want you guys to start a fire here. Fire, you say? Yes. I didn't want there to accidentally be any fire hazard. Moreover, this is underground. Even though there is air flowing, I just want to be cautious. I see that you have foreseen far ahead. I wouldn't mind if we are outdoors. I was genuine. In truth, this passage was narrow and had no water source. If anything were to happen, we probably would have nowhere to run. That's why I had someone prepare bento. Also, people would probably need to visit the toilet. I had suspected people would probably want to use the toilet. So, I'm going to open a portal that connects to the entrance. Everyone, please use the lunch break period to relieve yourself. I quickly opened the portal after saying so. I received a round of baffled stares shouting, this is insane. But I couldn't just compromise because of that. Seriously, I was sure they were planning to sneak off in the darker parts of the passageways and get their business done, but I didn't wish them to do so. After all, this was the road leading to a tomb, such sacrilege would just be too much. Maybe I'm overthinking it, perhaps the deceased wouldn't mind it after all. No, your way of thinking is admirable. Kagoli-san agreed, which I was pleased to hear as well.